Greetings of the day. The outcomes of the present session are: learners will have a recap of the concept of cost, and learners will understand the cost classification in detail. So let us have a quick recap of cost. We know what cost is. Cost is the amount of resource given up in exchange for some goods or services. And this resource which is given up should be money or money's equivalent, which is expressed in monetary terms. If we have to speak in simple terms, cost is the amount of expenditure which is incurred on or attributable to a specified thing or activity. That means it is the entire amount of expenditure which is spent for the making of the cost of a product, for making up of the product. For a consumer, cost means price, what he pays for the product. Whereas from the terms of management, cost means the expenditure incurred for producing a particular product or rendering a particular service. Example might be the cost of a pen, the cost of a book. So whatever is the expenditure incurred in the production of the book is called as the cost of a book. Let us now look into the details about the classification of cost. Cost can be classified on the basis of various things. Let us have a look into that. It can be classified on the basis of time, basis of nature of elements, the degree of traceability to the product, association with the product, changes in activity or volume, according to functions, according to the relationship with accounting period, on the basis of controllability of cost, on the basis of cost for decision making purposes, and then we also have certain other cost. So this is the broad classification of cost. We will look into the classification under each type again. So we have looked into the few classification of cost in our previous session. Let us continue with the remaining classification of cost in this session. So again now the cost can be classified on the basis of functions. It is called as functional classification of cost. And on this basis we can classify cost into manufacturing or production cost, administration cost, and pre-production cost. So first we will see what is production cost. The name itself signifies it is the cost of operating the manufacturing division of an undertaking. That means the cost of producing the product. It includes the cost of all direct materials, direct labor, direct expenses, and all overhead expenses relating to production. In short, the entire expenses which are related to the production of the product. Then administration cost. Administration cost are the indirect cost, and they cover all expenditure incurred in formulating the policies, in directing the organization, and controlling the operations of a concern which is not related to research. So they will contain all indirect cost other than the research cost. Research, development, and those costs are not included in this. Otherwise, all other indirect costs which are related to policy formulation are included in the admin cost. Then what we come to is the pre-production cost. When a new factory is started or when a new product is introduced, certain expenses are incurred. So these are trial runs. Such costs are termed as pre-production cost, and they are termed as deferred revenue expenditure. They are charged to the cost of future production. So this cost is incurred when we plan for some new type of product to be produced, when we are having some trial runs. So there when we incur the expenditure, that is called as pre-production cost, and this will be charged to the cost of future production. So the other type of functional cost are selling and distribution cost. Selling cost is the cost of seeking to create and stimulate demand. For example, the cost which we incur on advertisement, the cost which we incur on salesman to increase the sales, the cost which we incur on market research, That is all comes under the, all those things come under the selling cost. Now let us look at the distribution cost. It is the expenditure incurred which begins with making the package produced available for dispatch and ends with making the reconditioned packages available for reuse. So example of distribution cost will be your warehouse and cartage, etc. The next one is the research and development cost. So these costs include the cost of discovering new ideas, new processes, new products by experiments and implementing such results on a commercial basis. So if we just look briefly into the functional classification, we have production cost, we have admin cost, we have selling and distribution cost, we have research and development, and we also have the pre-production. So cost incurred related to production are production cost, indirect expenses related to policy framing are admin cost, expenses related to selling are selling cost, expenses related to distributing the goods are distribution cost, expenses related to research and development are called as research and development cost, and expenses related to future products are called as pre-production cost. We will go ahead to the next classification of cost. The next classification is based on relationship with the accounting period. So on the basis of the accounting treatment, costs are classified into capital cost and revenue cost. So capital cost will provide benefit to future period and it is generally classified as an asset. So if we are purchasing the assets which give us benefits for future period, we call it as a capital cost. The next one is a revenue cost. This benefits only the current period. So if we are incurring expenditure for the benefit in the current year, we call it as revenue expenditure, and this revenue expenditure is treated as an expense. Capital will be treated as an asset, revenue will be treated as an expense. The next classification of cost is on the basis of controllability. That means how much control can we exert on the cost. In this basis, cost is classified into controllable cost and non-controllable cost. So the name itself is giving the implied meanings. Controllable is one where we can control, uncontrollable is the one which we cannot have any controls. We will see the meaning again. Controllable cost, let us look into the definition given. The cost which can be influenced by its budget holder. So these are the costs which can be influenced by its budget holder. These are the costs which may be directly regulated at a given level of management authority. For example, cost of raw material may be controlled by purchasing in larger quantities. So here we have an option of controlling the cost. If we go into purchasing raw materials in bulk quantities, we can reduce the cost. So by that means we have a control over the cost. Non-controllable cost. It is the cost which is not subject to any control at any level of management supervision. The difference here is, the difference between the term is very important for the purpose of cost accounting, cost control and responsibility accounting. The difference between controllable and non-controllable cost is very, very important from the point of view of cost accounting. So if you have to look at the cost, we should differentiate it between controllable and non-controllable cost. The next classification for the cost is on the basis of decision making. So there are certain costs which are very, very useful for decision making purposes. Let us look into each one of them separately. These just have a look at the types of cost for decision making. We have opportunity cost, sunk cost, differential cost, joint cost, common cost, imputed cost, uniform cost, replacement cost, and out of pocket cost. And all these types of cost are very, very important because they are useful for decision making purposes. We will see each one. Opportunity cost. It is the cost of selecting the next best alternative. It is the cost foregone for selecting the next best alternative. So it is the cost for selecting one course of action and losing of other opportunities to carry out that course of action. It is the amount that can be received if the asset is utilized in its next best alternative. And these costs are not recorded in the books of accounts. It is important only in case of decision making and comparing the alternatives. So if the management has to take a decision, then opportunity cost will help them in evaluating the alternative cost and then deciding upon to go with which cost. The second one is called as the sunk cost. Sunk cost is one that has already been incurred and cannot be avoided by the decision taken in future. So that is already sunk, it has already been incurred, and now whatever decision we take in future, we cannot alter these costs. As it refers to past cost, it is called as unavoidable cost also. It is not useful for decision making at all, as all past costs are irrelevant. For the purpose of decision making, it will not be useful because we cannot alter it now. It has already been incurred, so it is of no value for us now. The next one is the differential cost. Differential cost has been defined as differences in the total cost between alternatives calculated to assist the decision making. It is the increase or decrease in total cost which results due to producing and distributing few more or few less of products, a change in the method of production or distribution, an addition or deletion of a product or a territory, and selection of an additional sales channel. So if I have to give an example, like if you are trying to increase a product in your organization, the production of a product, of a new product is increased. So then what is your previous cost and what is your new cost after adding the product? The difference between the two costs is called as the differential cost, and this cost is useful for decision making for the management to decide whether they should go in for the production of this product or not. We will move forward. The next type of cost is joint cost. These are the costs incurred up to the separation point of separation. One product may be of major importance, another of minor importance, which are all called as byproducts. So till the time they are joined, we call it as joint cost. Till the time they are separated. The next one is common cost. Common costs are those costs which are incurred for more than one product. More than one product, job, territory, or any other specific costing object. They are not easily related with individual products and hence they are generally apportioned. Next one is called as the imputed cost. Some costs are not incurred and they are useful while taking decisions pertaining to a particular situation. These costs are known as the imputed or notional costs and they do not enter into a traditional accounting system. That means they are not entered in the books of account because they are not incurred. They are only useful at the time of taking decisions. Example might be interest on internally generated funds, salaries of owners of proprietorship or partnership, like that. So these are the examples of imputed costs where we are actually not paying something, but they are important when we take decisions. The next one is uniform cost. These are not distinct costs as such. Uniform costing signifies common costing principles and procedures adopted by a number of firms. So if number of firms are following the common practices and principles of costing, we call them as uniform cost. They are majorly required to compare the performance of one firm with another. The next one is marginal cost. It is the aggregate of variable cost, that is the prime cost plus variable overheads. These costs are again classified into fixed and variable. The next one is called as replacement cost. The replacement cost is the cost of replacing an asset at current market values. That is, example, when the cost of replacing an asset is considered, it means cost of purchasing the asset at the current market price is important and not the cost at which it was purchased. So whatever is the replacement cost, that is called as that is important for our decision making. The next one is out of pocket cost. It involves payments to outsiders. It gives rise to cash expenditure as opposed to such cost as depreciation, which don't involve any cash expenditure. So depreciation is such cost which doesn't involve the cash expenditure. But out of pocket costs are those which involve payment to others. So it involves cash expenditure. These costs are relevant for price fixation during recession or when make or buy decision is to be made by the organization. So we will move ahead to the last classification of cost, which is the other cost. So in case of other cost, we have the first one called the, let us just have a look at all of them: conversion cost, normal cost, traceable, avoidable, unavoidable, total cost, and value added cost. We will just have a brief look into each one. We have already almost seen all of them. Conversion cost, it is the cost of a finished product or work in progress comprising direct labor and manufacturing overheads. It is production cost less the cost of raw material, but including the gains and losses in weight or volume of direct material arising due to production. So conversion cost is the cost of converting the raw material into finished product, but it will not include the cost of raw materials. The next one, normal cost. It is the cost which is normally incurred at a given level of output in the conditions in which that level of output is achieved. So in the normal conditions, if we are producing an output, the cost incurred is called as the normal cost. Traceable cost. It is the cost which can be easily associated with a product or a department. So we can easily charge that cost to the particular product, department, or process. The last one is avoidable cost. Avoidable costs are those costs which under the present conditions need not, which under the present conditions need not have been incurred. So we could have avoided these costs. We could have easily avoided these costs. Examples are spoilage in excess of normal limit, unfavorable cost variances which could have been controlled. So these costs are that which we could control easily. It has been occurred due to our carelessness or negligence. We have few more costs called as the unavoidable cost. So the name itself says unavoidable costs are the ones which couldn't have been avoided under the present conditions. So these costs have to be incurred. Total cost, it is the sum of all costs associated to a particular unit, process, or department, or batch, or the entire concern. It may also mean the sum total of material, labor, and overhead cost. So the term total cost, however, is not precise. It needs to be made precise by using terms that indicate the elements of cost included. And the last type of cost is called as the value added cost. Strictly, it is not a cost at all. It means the selling price of the product or service less the cost of materials used in the product or the service. Often depreciation is also deducted for ascertaining the value added cost. So we have almost covered the entire classification of cost. It is a lengthy session covering the classification of cost on the basis of different types of classifications. So that's it for the current session. Thank you.